Welcome to Solo-Ensemble.com. Solo-Ensemble.com is a web-based system for managing judged fine arts events. This tutorial will walk through how a school staff member enters student performance data for each of our supported performance types: solos, ensembles, solo panel entries, and group panel entries. As usual, we start from the Solo-Ensemble.com website and click on the Contest Login menu item at the upper right to begin the login process. The process for creating a member account is covered in other tutorial videos. We sign in as our fictitious employee Roger McPirate, a member of the Gooberville Test School. That school belongs to several contest events, as you can see from Roger's dashboard. As we have discussed in other tutorial videos, the icons on the right half of this page indicate which contests Roger belongs to. Icons that are gray indicate that the contest on that row is not open for access, either because the contest has not opened yet or is already closed. Roger will enter the Wilsonville contest as a school staff member by clicking on its icon in the school column. Roger is now at his school staff main menu within the Wilsonville event. The school staff interface is described in greater detail in another tutorial video. For now, we will focus on the entry of student performances. For this Wilsonville contest, Roger will be adding solos and ensembles. Later, he will enter a different contest to add solo panel and group panel events. Roger first selects solo performances to view his school's existing entries, if there are any, and to add new entries. All entries from any other teachers from the same school will show up on this list. The ID numbers in the second column are clickable links, which would allow Roger or any other teacher from this school to edit the entries. The green icons at the end of each table row expand to show assigned accompanists or judges, if any. The two icons at the far right on the toolbar both show a person with a plus sign. Both are used to add solo performances here. The left icon is used to add a single solo performance, and Roger will do that first. The Add Single Solo Performance dialog box that appears has many entry areas, but not all of them need to be entered at this time. The student first name, last name, and grade are important, as are the performance title, instrument, and difficulty level. Selecting an accompanist from the drop-down list is considered a request and not a firm assignment, as the contest staff will schedule those resources as they are able. Video links are set up by each school in case this is a virtual event. Source material links are also set up by the school and can be used in both virtual and in-person events, but are not always required. We'll speed things up and have Roger input the data for this solo performance now. Roger filled in the important fields, requested an accompanist, and chose a source material link which his school has pre-entered. Since this is the name of a musical piece, the title of the chosen source material should match the performance title Roger entered. We discuss creation of the video and source material links in a different tutorial video. Roger now clicks the Add button and sorts the resulting table to bring the new entry to the top of the list. You can see a status message in the blue box at the top of the page, indicating that the solo was successfully added. If there had been an error saving the data, an error message would appear in the same spot. Roger will now click on the other Add Performance icon to create several solo performances at once. The Add Multiple Solo Performances dialog box has several of the same entry fields as for adding a single solo. This form allows you to enter several students at the same time who are performing the same thing. You may notice there is no drop-down list for a video link. That is because those links are specific to each student. After adding these students in bulk, Roger can go back and edit each one individually to add a video link or make any other changes. The large text box on the right side of the form is where Roger enters the students as last name, first name, and an optional grade. If a grade is provided, it overrides the default grade for all of these students. Let's allow Roger to enter this data now. What we expect to see when Roger clicks the Add button are 4 new solo students performing Bum of the Flightful Bee. All are in the 8th grade except for Elijah Bennett, who is a 9th grader. As we expected, the 4 new students have been added as individual performances, and indeed Elijah was added as a ninth grader. These can each be edited just as if they were entered individually. Roger will now return to his main menu, where he will enter some ensemble performances. As we saw on the Solo Performances page, once again we see two icons on the toolbar for adding performances, but this time they are for ensembles. The first icon is for entering a single ensemble performance. The second icon is for entering a collection of ensemble performances. Roger will now complete the entries for this ensemble as he did for the solos, except now the ensemble itself has a name, and the student performer names should be entered into the Names of Players box. Roger now clicks the Add button and sorts the table by ID number to bring the new ensemble, named Rhythmically Challenged, to the top of the list. The blue status box at the top of the page ensures the entry was accepted into the database. We now move on to the trickier part, adding multiple ensemble performances at the same time. We will have to edit each of these ensembles at a later time to add the names of the performers. By now you are familiar with the inputs required on these dialog boxes. Each of these ensembles will initially be assigned to the same type, but Roger can update any of them later. Importantly, the names of the ensembles are to be added line by line in the large text box at the bottom. The number of players should follow the name, separated by a comma. If no number is given, a default of 3 is assigned. Roger will now click the Add button to enter these 3 new ensembles into the contest database. The 3 ensembles show up at the top of the list because the table is currently being sorted by the ID number in the second column. You can see the number of performers in parentheses beside each ensemble's name. It is highly recommended to add the performer names, which in this case must be done by editing each entry individually. Because the Wilsonville contest is not set up for panel judging, Roger will now return to his dashboard and enter a completely different contest event to add solo panel and group panel performances. He will use the All Dean Theatre Fest contest to add these entries. Roger will start with adding solo panel entries, which is very similar to adding solo entries, but now has something called a rubric set which defines how this performance will be judged. As usual, you see the 2 icons for adding performances. Roger starts by selecting the icon to add a single solo panel performance. The Add Single Panel Solo dialog box has many familiar elements. One new item is the rubric set drop-down list. Rubric sets are created by the contest staff, ideally before the school staff members enter their performances. It is possible to select or change the rubric set after a performance has been entered. Roger makes the necessary entries for this student, being sure to select the correct rubric set, theater, acting, from the drop-down list. Roger clicks the Add button and notes that the entry was successfully recorded, as shown by the status message and the new entry appearing on his list of solo panel performances. Roger will now use the second icon for adding student entries on the toolbar, this time for adding multiple solo panel performances. Similar to the form for adding multiple solos, this form again has most of the same fields and drop-down lists, but omits the video link drop-down because those are assigned individually. Remember to put the names in the box at the right-hand side as last, comma, first, comma, and grade, if the grade level is different than the default, which is currently set at a value of 8. With the entries complete, we expect to see 3 new solo panel entries. 2 of them are 8th grade students and 1, William Schmidt, is in grade 9. Sure enough, there are Roger's 3 new solo panel performances. Roger now wishes to enter a group panel performance. He can get to that menu either from this icon on the toolbar or by returning to the main menu and selecting Group Panel Judging from his Performance Entries panel. He will do the second option for now. Here is the current list of group panel performances for Roger's school in this contest event. You may notice that there is only one icon for adding a new group panel performance. Solo-Ensemble.com doesn't currently support entering multiple group panel entries at once. Roger selects that icon, and another highly familiar dialog box appears for him to enter his data. Roger completes the data entry, including the rubric set, theater, musical, and adds each of the performer names. These names appear on the judge evaluation form, shown in a different tutorial video, and on the final PDF comment sheet, also shown in that video. Roger even chooses to add a private note to the judge. This comment will appear on the judge evaluation form, but does not appear on the printed output. Roger clicks the Add button, and the data is stored. From the Group Panel Judging Performances list, you can see that the entry was successfully recorded and is now ready for evaluation during the contest. This concludes the tutorial video on entering student performance data in Solo-Ensemble.com. Look for an additional tutorial video that describes the school main menu options in greater detail, as well as the tutorial videos that cover other areas of our software.